Good day, everyone. Welcome to our next topic. In basic macroeconomics, we will discuss the opportunity cost, in which your micro decision as of today has a macro effect in your lives, in our society, or even in our economy as a whole. Now, the opportunity cost of a choice is the value of the best alternative that you must forego in order to make the choice. Imagine that you are considering here whether to go to a movie, and your main goal here is to maximize your utility. And the utility that we are referring here is your satisfaction. And because staying at home and spending no money is always an option, you certainly won't go to a movie if you really think that the utility, for example, the happiness you obtain from doing so, isn't at least worth the price of the ticket and the time you spent. However, to make the best decision, it is not enough to think only of the price of the ticket, but we must have to consider as well how good the movie is and how much time you'll spend watching it. You may also want to consider how much utility you would get from spending your resources and those resources that you have, the money and the time you spend on the movie. For example, the opportunity cost of going to the movie is the forgone utility from the next most enjoyable activity you could have done. Example, if you really think that going out to eat is much more enjoyable activity rather than watching movie, your forgone utility is watching movie. Now, if you really think that buying a video game will satisfy you or will give you more satisfaction rather than watching movie, your forgone utility is watching movie. We have a lot in another example of opportunity cost here. Any decision is the value of the next best alternative that the decision forces the decision maker to forego. The first example is for the working individual. Are you willing to give up your current job in order to finish your studies? The second example that we have here is for the professionals like doctor who have shifted their career from being a doctor to an entrepreneur. Are you willing to give up your profession as a doctor, in which you earn 60,000 a month, in order to focus to your business with a monthly net profit of 50,000 a month? The third example that we have here is for the college student. Are you willing to give up drinking milk tea every week in order to save your money for the whole month of consumption of your daily needs? And the last example that we have here is for the working individual who prefer to have a vacation. Are you willing to give up a 4 days work with pay in which you will earn a worth of 20,000 just to have a vacation in Boracay, and you will have to spend at least 30,000 for 4 days? Now, let's try to look here the concrete example of Juan de la Cruz personal cash flow for the month of August 2022. Let's say, for example, Juan de la Cruz is a doctor and his salary is worth 50,000, and his expenses he spent he spent 2,000 for his insurance. It can be in his car or his health insurance. For the taxes, for the personal tax, he paid 2,000. For the rent, let's say for example, he rent for an apartment, 40,500. For the loans, it can be a salary loans or it can be a house loan worth 3,000. For the food, is not that much or he's not that spender, so he spent 5,000. For the entertainment, every Friday he go to a bar, spend 5,000. For the utilities, he spent 2,000. For the membership, let's say for example, he's a member of a gym class, he spent 1,000. For the personal care, he spent 2,000. And for the dining out, in which he preferred to have a fine dining with his friends, he spent 3,000 and the total expenses of 20,500. Now, if you're going to compare the income less the expenses that he had, the net cash flow of Manila Cruz is 21,500. Let's say, for example, Manila Cruz shifted to have a consulting firm and he gave up his profession as a doctor. His cash inflow as a beginning of his business, he had a cash of 21,500 exceeds of net cash flow for the salary that he had when he was a doctor. Now, he had a sales income for the month of November 2022 worth 10,000 and the sales assets. He sold his personal things or his personal gadgets and electronics worth 10,000. And he borrowed loans from a bank worth 20,000. Let's say he has a capital worth 20,000 from an angel investor, his relatives or his family and his friend. So his total cash inflow, the cash that he have right now is a total of 81,500. Now for the cash outflows, let's say he has two employees working in his consulting firm. And for the monthly salary, he pays 20,000. And for the other operating expenses like the overhead expense, the electricity, and the water bill, a total of 50,000. The loan payments, probably it will be due after 2 months. The capital expenditures is spent 30,000 for the tax payments. It's not yet due. And the total expenses that he have is 65,000. And if you're going to compare or we're going to subtract the cash inflow to this cash outflow, the net cash flow that one developers have as a consulting firm is 16,500. Now, if you're going to compare the net income of Juan de la Cruz from a former professional to a current consulting firm, there is a difference. If you're going to look for the cash flow statement of Juan de la Cruz, being a professional, he has a net cash flow of 21,500. Now, when he shifted to have or to focus in consulting firm, his net cash flow is 16,500 as in total, or as a result, when De La Cruz has an opportunity cost of 5,000 when he gave up his profession being a doctor and shifted to become or to have an consulting firm. And which means that the money or the income, the net cash flow that he earned and the income that he earned being a professional is higher compared to his current status right now or to his current career as a consulting firm. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for listening and have a